Exodus: Gods and Kings. Before I get to the review, I'm gonna tell you what my rating system is. Now, my rating system is based off of like how many shits I would give, and it would be out of 5. So let's just say I like give 1 shit for a movie. That means I hated it. It's terrible. Don't ever see it. It's just bad. Like an example would be Batman and Robin. It's horrible. 2 shits would imply that there were some good aspects about the movie, but overall it's not good. It's really just a huge disappointment. But there is a bit like in between, like 2 and 3, like, so I would start with like 2.5, where it would basically be like guilty pleasure for me, kind of like I, Frankenstein, where I recognize that it's a really bad movie, but it's just really fun to watch. It's hilarious. Another example would be Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. I really recommend seeing that movie. It is probably one of the funniest things you will ever see in your life. So that would vary between like 2.5 to a 3. Now, a 3 would mean that I liked it. It wasn't a perfect movie. It had some bad parts. It had some good parts, but overall I enjoyed it. It was a nice time at the movies. Now, 4 shits is where, we're getting into the big leagues, and that's where I do like 4.2s, 3s, and 4s, and so on, because not many movies are actually perfect. Like Gone Girl, I would give probably a 4.5 out of 5, and then the 5, that's a straight up perfect movie. I loved it. I couldn't really see any flaws with the storyline or with any of the technical things or anything. A perfect example would be Memento. Memento is probably the most perfect movie I've ever seen. It's one of the earlier Chris Nolan movies, so you should really check that out if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, you need to turn this video off and go watch it right now, because it's great. And you see, Gods and Kings, I was really looking forward to it. Alright, now before I get to like all the bad things that it has in the movies, I'm going to talk about some of the good things, because it'll not make me feel as bad when I take a huge steaming pile of crap all over it. Some of the good movies, the acting is great. By Christian Bale, Joel Edgerton, John Turturro's in the movie for a little bit. When there's action, it's cool looking. I mean, the camera's a little shaky, so it's kind of difficult to see, but you can at least tell what's going on. It's not the Hunger Games. No. It's no Hunger Games when it comes to shaky cam. The special effects they're good. It's not like you can look at the special effects and be like, oh man, that is so fake. I mean, granted, you can tell it's fake because, it was done with CGI, but at least it's acceptable. Alright, so big major flaws. This movie, like, the way the story was told, it was told like as if like the director and the writers assumed that everybody on planet Earth knows the story of Moses, and quite honestly, it kind of just like, it picks you up and kind of just throws you across this playing field of just stuff that's going on. Like, it starts off and they're, going to war with these, people because, I don't know, they're about to get invaded, and they just totally destroy, like, their camp or whatever in a battle. And, and I was just like, alright. The thing of the whole movie, like, first of all, it starts off really strong. It starts off, and you kind of just like, oh, okay, so this is where we are. This is, it's very set in stone. It's great. When Moses, gets exiled, it doesn't really happen like, it doesn't really follow source material very well. And usually I'm not much of a stickler about source material stuff because I rarely read anything. So like the Harry Potter movies, I mean, I recognize that the third one, Prisoner of Azkaban, is not very accurate towards the book, and the Half Blood Prince. That one I actually did read, and that is nothing like the book at all. But it was a good movie. Yeah, I enjoyed the crap out of it. It's sitting on my shelf outside, and it's a really good movie. But when it comes to Bible stories, I'm kind of more of a stickler for that because, I mean, I grew up Christian and I grew up with these stories that I just know and love. And this movie took a huge steaming pile of shit on it. I mean, like there were just a bunch of things that they missed or didn't that they didn't show, or that they purposefully just got wrong in the first place, that I really had a problem with, and it kind of made it harder for me to kind of follow the story because they were changing so much of it that like for me, like knowing the story and recognizing things that were happening kind of crapped all over it. It was a bit irritating, and so like, and I was a bit fuzzy on with the story going in, but after a while of me being able to kind of just think about what kind of just remember what was going on in the movie or for the story, it kind of made it easier. But when they started kind of just straying away from it and turning it into just like an ancient Egyptian epic, with battle scenes and stuff, and it just threw me out of the movie. I kind of just started thinking, and I was just like, this isn't the Moses story that I know and love. It it was really disappointing, and it was really sad because I was really looking forward to this movie. This was a movie that I think I was looking forward to probably the most out of this year, at least until after I saw Interstellar. There are a few like big name actors that are in this movie that just had no business in it. Like Aaron Paul, he plays like one of the Hebrews, and I guess he kind of turns into Moses' right hand man or something. Like in the middle of the movie, they don't really specify that, but I guess he's friends with him, and he hangs out with his buddy Aaron Paul more than his brother and his sister. I don't know. It was weird. And Sigourney Weaver is in it for a short period of time. For no reason. She basically plays an extra. She literally says like a total of like 2 lines, and I don't know, she doesn't even get a conversation. Her talents are completely wasted in this movie, and it frankly is sad. Like, I hate seeing big name stars like that like appear in a movie like as a cameo, and they don't even play like a weird version of themselves. Like if they were gonna get people to play, like I guess Sigourney Weaver was the Pharaoh's wife, but if if they were gonna cast somebody as Pharaoh's wife, just have her stand there and kind of just be his wife, they should have gotten somebody that we don't really know. Overall, this movie was a huge mess. It does not do the story any justice at all. It's really oddly paced. However, it is well acted. It's well shot. The special effects are good. But, however, it was not worth the price of admission. It wasn't a very good movie. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to give this movie 2 shits out of 5. But hey, if you like the movie review, I'll be coming out with more soon. I gotta go see the other one that came out. Unfortunately, Portland doesn't get Inherent Vice until January, which when I found that out was a bit irritating. But if you like what you've seen here, then check my channel. I got a couple of short movies up. They're poorly acted, and they're fun. It's done with a shoestring of a budget, and I hope you enjoy. And as always, please subscribe.